Good morning, and welcome to day 15 of our 30-day prayer challenge. Please pray with me. I am no longer my own, but yours. Put me to what you will. Place me with whom you will. Put me to doing, put me to suffering. Let me be put to work for you or set aside for you, praised for you or criticized for you. Let me be full, let me be empty. Let me have all things, let me have nothing. I freely and fully surrender all things to your glory and service. And now, O wonderful and holy God, creator, redeemer, and sustainer, you are mine and I am yours. So be it. And the covenant which I have made on earth, let it also be made in heaven. Amen. My Bible reading this morning comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 11. This is another one of those chapters that sometimes is a little bit hard to read. Paul is talking to the people in the church in the city of Corinth, which is in the area of Greece today. And he's really not very happy. One verse says, "Now I don't praise you as I give the following instruction, because when you meet together, it does more harm than good." You know, sometimes he has a beautiful way of getting straight to the point. But if I was the person receiving this letter, I don't know that I'd be real happy getting this letter. We get a beautiful section in verses 23 to 26, which we recognize from our practice of sharing the Lord's Supper, Holy Communion. And it's the words that we so often hear, take and eat. This is the body of Jesus given for you. Take and drink. Do this to remember, to receive God's covenant. Now, what Paul is getting at here, he's trying to remind people what the purpose of this meal together is for. Because it sounds like what's really going on is that they're getting together and some people are gorging and some people are leaving hungry. And that was not Paul's intent when he was sharing the story of this meal between Jesus and his followers on the night that he was betrayed. The purpose is that this is a time for the community to come together to receive the grace and love that Jesus offers each and every one of us. This is a time for remembrance, a time for worship, a time to be filled with God's grace. And it's not a time to be separating people where some people get more than others, some people eat in a different room. Now, I will say that there is one passage here in verse 29 where it says that those who eat and drink without correct understanding are drinking their own judgment. Again, a harsh line. But this is one of those passages in the Bible that has contributed to the divisions in our church today. There are churches where you have to be a member of that particular church or denomination if you want to participate in the spiritual practice of Holy Communion. And there are other churches where anyone who is seeking the grace of God is welcome at the table. And that difference really comes from this section of the Bible, that the people who want to be concerned that people are not being judged at the table, that they have a correct understanding of communion and this ritual, this sacrament of the church, they use some of these limitations during communion to make sure that everyone has a correct understanding. Other churches feel that this was written to a particular group of people who had a particular problem with understanding, and that instead we believe that the table is Jesus' table and it's an open table that Jesus welcomes everyone at the table. And so this is just one of those places where we have a disagreement over the interpretation of reading the Bible and our understanding of what it means in our world today. But for those of you who sometimes wonder why churches have different practices and do different things, this is one of those sections where we have different readings of the passage that result in different traditions in our daily life as churches. As we go forth today, though, I think it is important for us to think about how do we approach the sacrament of the church? How do we share it with the people around us? What kind of community are we building when we gather for this meal? And what are the ways that we make sure that everyone has enough and that no one leaves hungry? That's a lot to think about for one day, but I think as we go through the day, I think we will see opportunities to make sure that we can share and be giving God's grace to more people in our lives. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.